What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Did Ken Climo just make a scorch for a noodle arm? Let's find out today on the channel. So I just got in the Osprey, and it's really a disc that I've been super excited about because they're kind of marketing it as a slightly different scorch. It does have a bead, but it feels really good in the hand so far. So I'm super excited to see if this disc is gonna add just a little bit more distance or be a more workable distance driver for maybe somebody with a less stellar arm speed. Yeah, let's just say that's where I'm at. So we're gonna be going to hole 2's basket. It's gonna be 3 or more big pumps with this disc. Try to throw it up on a big anhyzer, see if I can get it to pan out of it. Going for this gap in between the trees to the right. That's not a bad shot for kind of how noodle arm I'm feeling today. That's actually pretty decent. Got a fairly strong tailwind, so put a little more anhyzer than I would with no wind. I'm gonna lay down this like factory second wizard that I got. It's the Wedding Crashers, Zach and Carolina. I didn't make it to your wedding, 2022. Comment if that's you. Using that for a mini. Pretty good spot here, probably around the 300 mark. So I'm gonna try to make it to this tree that's having a bad hair day and then just fade left. I actually got a little flip that time. It's not too bad for how weak I'm throwing it. I think like number one on this is how easy it is to control, even at a slower speed. So I didn't really get a hold of that on this second shot and still got some decent distance out of it and even got a little bit of a flip up in this tailwind. That's rarely seen out of a more wide rimmed driver like this. Does have a little bit of a bead. I'd put it in that kind of like scorch width on the rim, which makes a lot of sense because that's what Kenny said that he was trying to make this disc do. Now I'm gonna try to hit this wall of trees with it pretty well just straight. Maybe a little turn on it to get it to go straight. Oh, that actually held. Okay, so not too bad. It actually just held the anhyzer. I think I'm gonna like it for like flat shots in a tailwind. Days that I'm feeling really strong, I can throw it a little higher on anhyzer and let it just kind of pan out of it the entire time. I think I hit this tree. So I would have got a little flare skip back toward the basket off of that shot. Now I'm gonna do a little step out and throw a little patent pending shot. Zach and Carolina, I have a few of your putters. I think I have 4 that are factory seconds of that. So let's try to throw this one in. Maybe it's got a little wedding luck on it. A little strong, not bad. So far the Osprey has really been a workable driver and almost comparable to a Wave for me, maybe with just a touch more stability. So like in between a Wave and a Wraith. I'm really liking it, guys. First putt of the day, about 5 feet. Woo, we got it. Maybe a little farther than 5. Still should have been a tap in. Well, that's not gonna show you how it flies. So let's go pick that up and try again. Didn't get the Champs consistency with the Champs disc. Oh yeah, baby. But the Wedding Crasher putter has some luck on it because I just threw that in from probably about, I don't know, 80 feet on a low ceiling. Here I was having kind of a mediocre day on the course. It's the things that keep you coming back, man. Throwing in a long putt like that, such a low ceiling on this shot. So there's no way to actually putt it. So I just threw like a little air bounce shot with that wizard. I'm telling you, there's no feeling like that. There's no adrenaline rush like throwing in a shot from way downtown. Whoa. So that shot was actually quite a bit more flippy than expected. Pretty sure I probably stood up on it just a little bit. probably got a little bit of anhyzer or at least a flat release out of the hand. Put this down to mark my lie. I'm telling you though, that's right on par with probably a wave, something like that. Maybe just a touch more hyzer and this would be pretty close to being parked. This is 430 feet. It's not really the shot here, but I'm gonna try to throw a forehand with it. I'm not a forehand guy, so no telling what's gonna happen, but I'll try to hang it out wide left and see if we can't kind of spike it in. Like I said, I'm not really a good forehand representative. Let's give it a chance. Woo. And then I'm gonna throw my normal shot with the putter. Both of those are pretty lackluster. And the second thing that I like about the Osprey is this new Victory Line plastic. It's like a very gummy Z-line plastic. Has the like tack and the flexibility of something like ESP. Gonna be super grippy, especially in the summertime. Really enjoying the plastic. I like flexible plastics. Now, if you're looking for more skip and kind of push out of a driver, like if you're trying to get that big flare skip to the left, this might not do it in this kind of plastic. Got a big putt here. Mark it with the Osprey. See if we can't make it. Probably about a 40 footer. Oh, pretty close. Neither one of those upshots were very good for how good my drive was. Tee shot here was probably close to 350, just not hyzer enough because it actually flipped up and held over. And like number 3 for this disc, I think it's gonna be a hyzer flip machine. I think it's gonna be something that your bigger arms can put out on a lot of hyzer and kind of work through the woods, and maybe even use for kind of like long rollers. But then your slower arms, it's gonna give them a lot more confidence to kind of throw flat into a tailwind, maybe a touch of hyzer into a headwind. So all around, I think it's gonna be a versatile disc for new players and a workable roller disc for experienced players. Last hole here, it's like right at 300 feet, maybe 320, but it's all uphill. So this is such a pump just to try to get there. Sign says it's 286, but it plays every bit of 350 because the elevation change. Try to throw this on quite a bit of hyzer and some power to it. That didn't work out very good. Kind of ran through my run up there. That was my fault. This is a max weight, which I really like. I think it's gonna be a workable disc for me after I get to throw it a little bit. I'm gonna try a fun shot and see if we can't throw it and get a little flare skip. Woo. That's not bad. Didn't hit my skip line. Pretty long putt here for par, but not what I would have thrown, so. See if we can get a little flare skip out of it. That would be fine if I hit the fairway. Almost a good shot. One of the things I'm really liking about this, and it's probably my number one favorite thing of the disc, is how well it handles a slower arm speed. I've kind of messed up a couple times during this round, and it really didn't care that I didn't throw it hard enough. I didn't hit it with enough power on a couple of these shots, and it still turned out okay. And when I did give it enough power, it actually stayed on line pretty good. Now, I do agree with Ken Climo that you wouldn't want to throw this into a headwind, and especially if you're a faster arm speed, this is going to be kind of a woods disc for you that you're going to hyzer flip and throw a lot slower through the woods. But overall, I think this is probably going to make the bag and be a driver that I mess around with this year and try to figure out. Think on my days that I'm throwing really good, I can probably get this almost to 400 feet if I'm throwing crazy good or have some crazy good wind. Today's not that day, of course. I did get it to about 350 downhill, and I would say a couple of shots on the super hole were kind of in that 320 range. Kind of where I sit. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're enjoying the channel, here's another video that YouTube thinks you might like from me. Have a great day. Stay in the fairway, guys. Pick up an Osprey. I'm actually liking this disc, especially for your slower arm speeds. Super excited to throw this for the rest of the year. See what I can do with it, especially on days that I don't go to Culver's right before I film. You know, I'm fighting a cheeseburger this whole round.